Hi, hi, this is Joe again with another review. And for the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the 1979 film, or should I say the black version of Wizard of Oz, which is The Wiz. Of course, the reason I'm talking about this film is that about a week from now, or less than a week from now, as I'm doing this video, NBC is going to be doing another live broadcast of another musical, and this time they're going to be doing The Wiz. Again, maybe because black people didn't turn in and watch it because they're all white casts. So, they did 2 years ago. They did The Sound of Music. Last year they did the God Awful Peter Pan show, which I previously reviewed, and now they're doing The Wiz. Well, going to be talking about the original movie because the live production of The Wiz obviously hasn't aired yet. Uh, the the movie version, of course, stars Diana Ross, Michael Jackson. Also had Nipsey Russell played the Tin Man. Michael Jackson Michael Jackson played the Scarecrow. Deanna Ross played Dorothy. And of course, and you also have Richard Pryor as the Wizard. Now this movie is a black version of the Wizard of Oz. I mean, that's basically what it is. Uh, again, maybe because people were complaining with Wizard of Oz being on every year, and that in those days it was usually on CBS, and now it's on TBS. So you can't, if you don't have cable, you can't even see the Wizard of Oz anymore. But anyway, this is like an all black version of it. They may because people complain that hey, we're going to have a black musical, and that's basically what the Wiz is an all black musical, and they took the Wizard of Oz and made it an all black thing. I mean, it's really was the first really politically correct musical, because, like I said a couple times already, it's an all black cast. Of course, it's unfortunately unlike the Wizard of Oz, which was an iconic movie and one of the greatest. And the Wizard of Oz is one of the greatest movies of all time. The problem with it is it didn't translate as a black musical. It didn't really translate that well. It's an inner city uh, Land of Oz. And of course, so Diana Ross is Dorothy, and she was like way too old to play this part. Because at least when Julie Garland played Dorothy in the original Wizard of Oz, at least she was 16 at the time. Uh, with Diana Ross, I think she might be in her late 30s or probably even 40 when she did The Wiz. So she was like way too old. At least Michael Jackson was still. I think he was still about 18, 19 years old when he did, or maybe even 20 when he did this movie. So it's almost age appropriate. Excuse the pun, to put Michael Jackson in this movie. But the rest of the cast are way too old, and I mean, other than Michael Jackson, the cast was like way too old to be in this particular film. They played the age, appropriate films. You be age appropriate. And everybody else was like too old to play the parts, except like I said before, Michael Jackson, because I think he was like 18 or 19 years old when he played the Scarecrow, and that's when he had the flexibility to play the part of the Scarecrow. But everyone else forget. I mean, everyone would forget. I mean, and also not only that, compared to the Wizard of Oz, which you could remember pretty much every song that was in the movie. This one you can't. Except there's only like one song we can really remember, and that is the song Ease on Down the Road. Talking about when they walk down the yellow brick road, that's the song they sing, and that's the only song that's really memorable from this film. So, other than that, I mean, the musical of The Wiz is horrible. It's a horrible version. It's all like run down, dirty. The thing was like filmed in the subway. The only thing that was missing was the subway rats in this film. I mean, that's how low down, run down, and dirty look. I mean, it is a much. I felt it was a much bigger production than the original Wizard of Oz was, and the Wizard of Oz was made in 1979. But The original Wizard of Oz was a little bit better, it was a little bit cleaner, a little bit more wholesome for 1939 audiences than The Wizards. And The Wizards not a wholesome movie at all. I mean, it really truly isn't. Uh, Even though you do have recognizable stores in this film, uh, it's not like you don't have recognizable stores in the original Wizard of Oz. You did. But the four of the main characters, the time with Judy Garland, Britt Law, uh, well, I forgot the other cast members, uh, but Ray Bolger, Morgan Hamilton played the Rich. They're all recognized because they had long careers before and after the film. You can't say that for this film. You really, truly can't. I mean, you did have Richard Pryor. There was always, I mean, pretty much all the main characters were already well established already. I mean, they weren't made to big stars after this film. I mean, unlike with Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland had a long career after Wizard of Oz for another 30 years until she died and she died 30 years later, 1969. But she had a 30-year career after this movie. But you can't say that for characters for The Wiz. Because Diana Ross was already established already from Days for the Supremes. Michael Jackson was already hot and just about to go to a solo career. Nipsey Russell was already an established comedian already. And of course Richard Pryor of course was an established comedian already by this time. So nobody had made a big career after The Wiz. Because The Wiz was horrible. I mean, I'm not saying anything good about this movie because it's not really anything redeemable of The Wiz. It really isn't. Unfortunately, NBC is doing a not a live act, but it's still going to be broadcast live on NBC. I think sometime next week, after they have the tree line ceremony. I think like the next day I think it is. But I am not after the disaster they had last year with Peter Pan. I'm just not interested in watching The Wiz. I'm sure they're going to have a huge black audience for it, but that's it. I don't know one white person who's going to be seeing The Wiz because, like I said before, it's a black version of The Wizard of Oz. And I'm not saying the songs are not going to be any good. I'm not saying the acting's not going to be any good. But I don't think that the productions will be as good as they had. Well, I wasn't on that thrill with The Sound of Music, with Carrie Underwood in The Sound of Music that they had 2 years ago. I wasn't that thrill in that version either. But I'm sure it can't. Hopefully, it won't be as bad as it was with Peter Pan last year. But horrible. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of The Wiz. So, I'm trying to get into it. But I was never a big fan of Diana Ross because of what she did with the Supremes. And she broke up with them and kind of like what John Lennon did with the Beatles. I mean, he was the one who broke up the Beatles. Same thing with Diana Ross. I mean, she broke up with the Supremes and that's it. That was pretty much the end of her career. She didn't have a great solo career after that. Diana Ross. Of course, Michael Jackson, was the most famous pervert child molester outside the Catholic Church. So, that's what you had in this movie. That's what you had in the movie. And that's why I'm not a fan of The Wiz, because of Michael Jackson was in it. Sure, they had Nipsey Russell, and I am kind of like a Nipsey Russell fan. Because when I was a kid, watching game shows when I was a kid, he used to be on all the time, on various game shows, and he used to do poems all the time. He was like a poet laureate. And I liked it for that. But in this film, he didn't film me. And this movie did not film me at all. So that's my review of the 1979 movie The Wiz. I know it's a short video. Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to comment on it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. And also you can see not only all my videos on my YouTube channel, but you can also see all my videos on and you can go check out my videos on realityc.com. There's all on WDY, therealityc.com, which is the homepage of the Reality Reviewer. Check out his site as well, not only for my videos, but also check out his videos, the whole his TV trash stuff. Plus, you can also check out all the other videos on it's on his website. All the other content is on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.